Welcome to the True Me podcast with your host, Nicole M. Nicole is an experienced business person with over 25 years of corporate success. She founded True Me Coaching in 2012, and she now helps corporations and individuals around the world to achieve authentic success and lasting happiness. Nicole provides warm guidance with a genuine program designed to enlighten and inspire. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hello, this is Nicole M. Welcome to the 5th podcast of this series. I hope you have had a wonderful week and that you have observed how you're lifting yourself up with every episode. A fact that makes me absolutely happy, as the purpose of this podcast is being fulfilled. This week we will talk about an important aspect of our daily effort, which is achieving goals. We are at the beginning of the year. You do a quick check to the previous year and you acknowledge that you have achieved some of your goals, whilst others were missed. And although you want to feel good and celebrate the first, it is the second that gains your focus. If you could speak today with some of the most successful people in the world, they will tell you that it took work, persistence, and strategic choices to succeed in their goals. Maybe some will mention that at times they felt they got lucky, or they will recognize that there were times when they wanted to quit and almost did. I am absolutely sure that in those times they felt doubt about themselves, or without resources of any kind, monetary, psychological, etc., or even terrified of their lack of energy. Nevertheless, there was always something that supported them to remain focused in the path that they have designed for themselves and return back to it. The inspiring story of Thomas Edison and his 10,000 unsuccessful attempts to create the light bulb should make us all feel encouraged and motivated never to give up. Yes, you heard it right. Edison attempted more than 10,000 times to make a light bulb lighten up. And most probably there were times of disappointment or times when he wanted to give up. But he did not. And the reason he didn't was that he never stopped believing in his original plan and remained focused on his dream, which was to give to every household in the world electricity. Definitely something within him must have given the conviction that he will be successful. We must never assume that it is easy. It was not for Thomas Edison, Abraham Lincoln, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Amelia Earhart, Joan d'Arc, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and even the more contemporaries like Giannis Antetokounmpo, who started from cleaning up car windows in a very humble area of Athens and it is now an NBA superstar basketball player, or even actors and actresses that remember living in their cars until they made it. And possibly it was neither easy for your parents. There are millions of people out there that have had the strength and intention to make it, and some probably to benefit the world whilst doing it, leveraging on their capabilities and skills in making a life worth living. We just do not know everybody's names. Independently of whether your ambition is to be successful in something global, national or regional, or just something relevant to your doorstep, your dreams are important. And to be able to fulfill them, you will need to take special action. Do not fool yourself that it can happen in any other way. Thus, what are the reasons that you did not manage to achieve some of your goals as yet? If you are pondering upon that question, let me aid your thinking with some possible answers. Sometimes it is that you do not put all the energy, perseverance, and faith in yourself and your abilities. We do not truly, deep inside that is, believe that it is possible to attain what we want, or even worse, that we deserve to have that positive experience. These thoughts, of course, can be very private, very deep, very subtle, very subconscious. Nevertheless, you must know that the mere fact that these thoughts exist is enough to block the outcome you desire. The lack of faith shows a negative disposition towards life and denotes that you are not ready to receive its gifts. However, you push and demand and get annoyed when things do not happen, and usually blame the circumstances or other people for that failure. Another reason can be that you are not really ready to invest in what you say you want. Maybe your goal needs some sacrifices from your side, that being your time or your routine, or putting an extra effort, getting out of your comfort zone or thinking out of the box. Maybe the daily reality of yours is so familiar or feels so cozy that you are not prepared to change it. Not really. And there is nothing wrong with that, as long as you realize it, as long as you are conscious about that choice. Because it is certain that along the way you will face obstacles, difficulties that might generate in you disempowering thoughts that will make you feel weak and paralyze you. The fulfillment of your own dreams and the ability to succeed in the areas of life that are most important to you can be realized only when you embrace the conviction that the impossible is possible, and most importantly, that you deserve it. If you want to achieve an important result in sectors like leadership, of self and or others, financials, business, career, personal life, emotional empowerment, health and body fitness, you must adopt the thinking that you will not compromise with anything else than absolute exceptional performance. Thus, what I really want to talk about today is how to synthesize what you have learned in previous shows so as to become more determined, exercise willpower, and display certainty that you can achieve your goals. If you want to improve your standards, the quality of your life, and your success level, there are 3 areas where you will need to make the extra effort to be able to break the barrier that impedes your path towards constant happiness. The time has come for you to manage your emotional state, your focus and interpretation of events, and your strategies. So let's examine them one by one. The first area refers to the choice of a mental strategy that empowers you. What is that makes some people achieve their goals, whilst others, although apparently they display the same enthusiasm or passion for the tasks that need to happen, constantly fail? The first group has adopted a way of thinking and the strategies that allow them to succeed faster and more thoroughly in their targets. For instance, think of someone that was born very poor and did not have the privilege of getting an education, and nevertheless, despite the social and emotional challenges, found a way to be very successful and is now living a comfortable and inspiring life. One such person could be Aristotle Onassis. Do you think that this person was just lucky in his life? Luck, if you believe it exists, can bring you a very ephemeral result. Let me tell you that what creates the real difference are the thoughts we have about the possibility of achieving our targets, and thereafter the strategies that we implement with consistency. Those factors eventually bring us the results we want and make those results sustainable. Thus, what influences primarily the long-term success or failure of a person is whether he or she manages to overcome his/her limiting thoughts or not. Let me illustrate this with an example. We are all aware that there are hundreds or even thousands of strategies out there to support us to lose weight, and most of them have proven to be effective. If someone is looking for it, he will find a strategy that suits him, as there are gyms on every corner, innumerable nutritional experts, personal trainers, videos, books, etc. Despite these facts, statistics show that around 39% of the global population is overweight and 30% is obese, and these numbers are growing exponentially. Why is that? Most people, although they have picked up a strategy, they do not know how to make the best of it. And the reason for that is the disempowering story that they believe about themselves, which influences negatively their actions. All of us have stories that we repeat to ourselves regarding what we can or we cannot do to achieve some specific goal. If you believe you can do something, or you believe that you cannot do it, you are usually right, because your expectations control also your focus, your perceptions, and the way you feel or act. When people succeed in a target, it is because they have found not only the right strategy, but also have adopted an empowering belief that motivates them to move forward. Such beliefs could be, I can achieve any goal I want. Nothing is impossible for me. I deserve the best and I am now working for it. On the other hand, the people that want to lose weight but cannot usually have a belief that is not supportive, like, I am built like that. It is my genes' fault. To lose weight, I have to deprive myself, or, even worse, I have to suffer. With this kind of belief system embedded in the core of their thinking, they will not be able to find a strategy that will really support them to lose weight. And even if they find it, they soon will abandon it. Please do not misunderstand me. Your situation might be real. You might have had a tough experience of life so far, or gone through a heavy disease. You might have been physically abused, lost a loved one, or be currently under heavy debt. What I'm saying is that these events are not the real causes that deprive you from living the life you want to live right now. Let's say that you have had a bad professional experience 2 years ago, when you tried to start your own business. That event is not the reason why you have not found nowadays the success and financial freedom that you deserve. What is impeding you is possibly the disempowering interpretation that you repeat to yourself about that event, the meaning that you have given to what happened, possibly concluding that you are not good enough for such ventures. That will definitely limit your view of a possible different outcome in the future, and thus will hinder your actions towards that goal, if you decide to take any action at all, that is. Most people keep close to their heart, usually subconsciously, such disempowering interpretations, so that they do not need to increase their efforts towards finding a new strategy, and consequently, they avoid facing again the fear of failure. To manage stopping this non-productive spiral of thoughts and actions and getting out of your vicious cycle, you must get triggered from a great desire to change. That is, make your willpower very strong. Let's go now to the second area, which refers to taking control of your emotional state. Whether you will embrace an empowering interpretation of an experience or a disempowering one is strongly influenced by the psychological and emotional situations in which you find yourself at any given moment. As a human being, we have all developed emotional patterns, psychological states, or emotional situations that influence the way we filter what is happening in our life. This influences also the stories that we use when talking about our own self, about what is possible and what is not. The emotional state that you fall into more often will become the more powerful filter of all, and it will define if you will be able to acquire the empowering belief to support you in taking action and identifying the strategies that you require to succeed. The big question you have to answer is, What is it that I need to do to change the focus of my mind when I feel that I'm not in a position to magnify my real potential? And I gave you in a previous show the formula of working through that thought, releasing it and replacing it with a more empowering one. So this is not a foreign concept for you anymore. You can do it, correct? The third area refers to choosing your new focus, which is also something we have already discussed. You need to get awareness of the theme or issue on which you usually concentrate your focus. Remember that it can change in a second. For instance, you might be living in a country with financial or a health crisis and feel trapped due to the fear and misfortune that you observe around you. If you choose to also see the situation under those lenses, you might feel as a victim and powerless to change it. But if you set up your mind to actively search for the opportunity behind the seemingly disempowering situation, you will feel a master of your life, a leader of your circumstances, and your brain will support you by discerning an empowering path to follow. You know already that your state can change in a second, depending on where your mind is focusing on. And you can focus wherever you want if you take control and become conscious about it. Remember always that what is wrong, ugly, difficult, painful, scarce is at all times available. But so is what is right, beautiful, easy, pleasurable, and abundant. What we focus on influences our state and thereafter our beliefs about who we are, what is life, what is possible or not. And it's that choice of approach that determines whether you will magnify your potential and follow the strategies that will support you in achieving what you are really aiming for in a viable way. To learn to put yourself in a situation of positive disposition, mentally and psychologically, systematically and consistently, is one of the biggest gifts that you can offer to yourself. It is the means to transform your beliefs and to be able to design the strategies that will lead you to succeed. It does not matter if you are an athlete with great performances, the president of a company, a parent, an employee, a housewife, or a student. If you really want to change something in your life, or your life overall, you must take conscious control of the things that influences it the most, following the 3 basic steps mentioned above. Now, we are already in the 2nd month of the year. You are contemplating the hopes, expectations, and dreams that you had at the beginning of it. If you are in the phase of designing your actions for the next months, remember, when failure is not a choice, you will certainly succeed. And the first thing to do is to remind yourself of your vision of yourself. What do you want to experience in this life? This is so important. It will guide you in the difficult times that might come. And they will come, be sure of that, as much as you are sure that the sun will rise every morning. And that is okay. That is part of life. Embrace those difficulties, those hurdles, because they are there to teach you something about yourself, about your surroundings, about your life. They are not your enemy. They are your ally, so that you can learn and get surely to the best vision of yourself. And what is that you need to remind yourself when you feel disappointed, or scared, or ready to quit? That even though taking action seems hard and too big an effort, it is much easier than, for instance, waking up in the morning to go to a job that you hate. Think of the tremendous burden that it might mean to live in an obese body, or with a bad partner, or to be dependent on a medicine or a drug. It is absolutely exhausting to be in an unfulfilling relationship, or to be surrounded by people that are negative or condescending. All of this require much more energy and power than what it takes to believe in your dreams and take action. Nobody has ever said that to live a great life is easy. It takes a great person with great character and with great dreams to create a great, amazing life. And that great person might be you, because we all hold inside the capabilities and the potential that are required to achieve success. On the other hand, what is the alternative you're facing? To wait for help from heaven? To come and awaken yourself and your talents, your needs and your desires? The solution is to be ready to accept yourself fully, with all its alleged mistakes, weaknesses, addictions, fears, complexes, and malfunctions, and to start loving yourself despite them all. When you're ready to do that, you are ready to become an empowered person. You are ready to create and live a consistently wonderful life. You might have allowed yourself too many escape exits in the past, too many excuses, but now is the time to realize that they lead you to nowhere. So, you have two options: to continue doing what you have always been doing and to bring the same results as always, or to do something that you have never done before and bring a different result. This might scare you, and you might not know yet what you want to do, but you will find out eventually as you focus your thoughts with consistency towards what you would like to be experiencing in life. You will do your homework, your research, and you will discover your next steps. You do not need to know today the complete path to be able to make the first step. What you need is to start moving towards the right direction. And one more thing, take responsibility. From now on, take full responsibility of your life and watch it blossom. You must decide and commit that you will do whatever you need to create a life that is really yours. A life that has purpose, meaning, joy, and value. You will not deprive yourself anymore from self-respect, integrity, dignity, fulfillment. You will stop blaming, waiting, hoping that someone else will show up to give you what you want. Remind yourself that you are more valuable than what you used to believe until today. You deserve more than what you have experienced up to now. Do not blame yourself, but neither blame others for your situation. You are who you are, and you have learned so much during your life to be able to get where you are today. Do not expect anyone to give you the permission to be who you are or you want to be. Do not expect someone to come and give you the money that you need to start your new business, someone to arrange the perfect blind date, or to fix your malfunctioning family. Take control yourself. Treat yourself in the way that you want to be treated, and stop resisting your deeper truth and dreams. Accepting full responsibility of what you are bringing to your life, although at first might feel scary or unfair, can be a very liberating and empowering experience. When you accept that simple reality, you can start shaping your actions and gain the happiness, exuberance, and fulfillment that being the master of your life will bring. You must acknowledge that your power of manifestation has no boundaries. Your potential is unlimited. The only boundaries are the ones that you inflict when you allow inferior emotions, fear, doubt, uncertainty, mistrust, etc., to get the best of you. When you become aligned with your possibilities, there is no fear, and that is when you will feel deeply and truly free. Once you are in sync with this reality, you will realize that the biggest achievements and successes are not the result of effort, pressure, or coercion, but rather the fluid magnetic qualities of grace and peace. And I know that you have all your past and more recent achievements to testify positively about that. Thus, I encourage you to do this week's first task. write a list of your goals and verify what are your own blocks. Keep in mind, though, you will need to dismantle them before you are able to attain what you want. Thus, the sooner you base your efforts on your own capabilities and intents, the faster you will see the results you want. I am going now to let you into a big secret, and that is that smart and successful people always ask for help. You should never hesitate to ask for help if you need it. It is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength. Make sure that you are doing the best you can to support yourself on your new path, including asking for help. You can ask help from your spouse, your child, your sibling, your friends, but even from us. At True Me Breakthrough Coaching, we coach people on the processes and tools to engage mind and spirit so that they can shift the quality of their outcomes. So you are not alone. Never think that, okay? Nevertheless, although others are there to help you and support you, it is yourself that you should keep accountable, because you are the master of your destiny, the captain of your ship. Every choice you make or you don't make is fully your responsibility, and the benefits of doing so will soon be yours. And my final thought: to succeed having a great life, you must start living fully. You must get out of your comfort zone and get rid of your need to ask for permission to live a better life. As a second task, what I suggest, if you are not already doing it, is that you make a list every night just before going to bed with the 3 action steps that you want to take the next day. Steps that will bring you closer to your goals. And start your day with the most important one. Soon enough, you will realize that you are already on the path of creating a better reality. So, that was all for today's show. I hope you have found it helpful. I will be looking forward to your comments, your fears and desires so as to design the next podcasts. You can write to me at nicole@trueme.co. Until the next show, take care.
Thank you for listening to the True Me podcast. For more information on Nicole and True Me coaching, head to trueme.co. If you would like to request a personal or corporate session, you can send an email to nicole@trueme.co anytime.